I think that you'll find that hopefully you can use some of what you've already reflected on just now when you later and very soon will be, I don't know if you knew this, but you are not the audience. You are today transformed into spect-actors, which means that you are all going to be actors as well, engaged actors, and will have an opportunity to come on stage and intervene in this play that we're about to do. So when you intervene, you are coming on usually as some form of yourself. You're playing a character, but you are still yourself, and you bring your reality, those lenses that you just, and those filters and lenses that you just talked about with each other in those links, you're bringing that truth on with you. So we'll keep coming back to that. Today, as was mentioned in our introduction, we are going to be doing a body of work created by Augusto Boal called Theater of the Oppressed. It's a form of social change theater. It's not the only form of theater. It's just one method in many, many methods. And Augusto Boal was a theater activist and created this form of social change theater, which is used all over the world, from India to Pakistan to France. It's being used in Afghanistan, all over the place. So we're joining the world in that today. This form of theater is going to challenge you. And as everyone said, and it showed us by standing up in our introduction, everyone in this room has witnessed or experienced an act of oppression. This form of theater gets at power, privilege, and oppression in new ways and encourages us to rehearse possible ideas and brainstorm together as a group. So I know that when I see or experience an act of oppression, many times my experience is that in the moment I become frozen. I don't know what to say. I say something wrong. I don't say enough. And I go home and I think about it and I kick myself. Why didn't I say this? Why didn't I say this? But we don't often in life get the opportunity to practice, to rehearse what we might say in challenging situations, and to learn to speak up for ourselves and to learn how to speak up for others and stand in solidarity with others. So this form of theater today is that opportunity.
So the first play that you'll be seeing is called The Sounds of Silencing, and it focuses on the experience of international students in the classroom, specifically in the setting of a student group. It touches on language and cultural oppression, as well as male and white privilege. These, as we know, are huge topics, right? We know that we haven't covered every aspect of these complex topics in this one play, and we are only looking at small parts of that. So know that these are much deeper than we are getting at today, and we mean no insult if we don't get at every single aspect.
The play is going to be short, and we will do the play once through, and it will show a problem concerning what happens in a student-led group. And the play will not have a positive resolution. It will be up to you, the spect-actors, to come in and try out different possibilities.
The play is contentious. All the characters in the play are struggling in some way, all of them. They're struggling to act, to respond. They're struggling with feelings of being oppressed, of being silenced, of struggling through, perhaps even unwittingly, their oppression of others. They might be reductive attempts at labeling, only staying at the surface level with categorical assumptions and social identities. But this doesn't allow to dig into the identities that are fluid and give more meaningful and more context. Even though the play focuses on specific forms of oppression, again, the importance of intersectionality, interconnection, just as you were doing at your tables with your links, of oppression, and encouraging people to make connections to various forms of experience and experiences that we have all had in our lives and our witness is important in the context of this conversation and as we watch this play.
There are no right or wrong interventions. And as jokers up here, that's what we're called as facilitators in the forum theater. It's our job to to not have a judgment on what's right, not to validate. We're just here to learn as a community together. So if you're sitting there saying, why isn't the facilitator saying that this is wrong? Well, you are a community here, and we're going to ask you at that moment, if you see something continue to be wrong up here, to come up and brainstorm a way to make a change, okay?
And of course, this is not the end. I often say that training or any kind of experience like this is a little bit like recycling. We need to do it. It's good for the world, but it's not the end. It's just the beginning. So that's what we're doing here today. This is to spark dialogue, to begin conversations, to begin the ways that we get activated, and not to be an end to itself.
All right.
We ready to get going?
Are you ready to see the first play?
Okay.
So we'll have the characters come up here.
So again, The Sounds of Silencing takes place in a graduate student meeting of the China Studies student group. I'd love to have each player actually introduce their real names, the character, and a bit about them. You know, example, like, are you a student, and their identity, and then we'll get going.
So my name is Teresa, and I will be playing the role of Susan, and Susan is an international student in this first China Studies meeting.
My name is Paul, and I'm playing a character named Reg, who is a student, straight male student in the class, or in the group.
My name is Ariel, and I will be playing Anna, and she recognizes herself as a cisgender female, and she is a graduate student.
Hi, my name's Nicole. I'll be playing the character Jessica, and Jessica is a US-born student.
Hello, my name's Jun. Jun Chen. I'm playing Emily, who is a Chinese international student.
All right, so thank you all. And we want to remind you that the actors in this play, as you know, you can read their bios in the program. They today may be playing characters that you don't like, that are oppressing others. And we want you just to, have seen them, first of all, for the amazing students that they are before they step into these roles. So just remember that. You may not like the characters they're playing. They are characters. All right, you can set up for the beginning of the first play.
Oh, hey, Susan, how's it going?
Oh, hi, Reg. Nice to see you. How did you do in Chinese art class last quarter?
Well, you know what? I got a 4.0. I was really excited.
Oh, yeah, me too. I think the professor was quite impressed with our final group project.
Yeah, I really loved working with you.
Yeah, me too. So have you been to this meeting before?
I haven't, but I know Anna, who's the president of the group. We met at an officers training last week.
Oh, okay. This is my first time at this meeting. I had to rush over here. I didn't get a chance to eat.
Yeah, same here, and I'm hungry. I'm going to grab a bite to eat after the meeting. Do you want to join me?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, Anna, how's it going?
I'm fine. I just ran into Professor Chapman, and he's leaving to do fieldwork in China and won't be back for 2 months. So I have to run and discuss my paper with him after this meeting, so it has to be kept short. Hello, welcome. Please take a seat. Okay, so we are already 10 minutes late, so let's get started. Welcome. I am glad we are all gathered here today for our first China Studies student group meeting. I would like to get to know all of you and get a better understanding of why you are here. So let me ask, what is your experience of China? Who would like to start? Okay, I can start. Hello, my name is Anna. I became infatuated with Chinese culture when I was 8 years old. And last year I finally got to study abroad in China, and I lived in Shanghai, and I loved the people there. They were hospitable and community-minded, and they even put an emphasis on girls being cute instead of sexy. I mean, I even felt a little out of place when I came back to the US. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. My name is Susan, and I don't have much experience of China, but I would like to do studying abroad there soon.
Hello, my name's Emily.
Oh, hi! Oh, you must be Jessica.
Hi, yes.
Yes, I got your email saying you were going to be late. Have a seat. Yeah, we're just introducing ourselves. Okay. Oh, why don't you tell us your experience of China?
Okay. I took a Chinese history class, and it was mostly about history from the 18th to the 20th centuries, and I don't really know much, but I'm excited to learn more.
Oh, was Professor Chapman your instructor for that class?
Yeah, he was really nice.
Yeah, he's my thesis advisor this year.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did you want to go back to what you were saying?
Oh my God, did I interrupt you? I am so sorry. Please carry
It's
on.
okay. Well, I'm Emily, and I was born, I have been in China for 22 years. I was born in a city called Shenzhen in China. I finished my undergraduate there, and I came here for my graduate degree in China studies. My experience of China, I don't know what else I should say. I mean, my whole life has been in China.
Okay, great. Yes, Reg.
Hi, I'm Reg. I already know some of you. So I was able to spend a year in China, in Hong Kong, and it was an amazing city. I mean, I love the skyscrapers and Victoria Bay.
Yeah.
But when I was there, I met somebody who told me about the real China, the China before modernization. And it's beautiful. I mean, in all that history, it's being lost. I mean, we're talking about thousands of years of architecture and culture.
Yeah.
But anyway, modernization does provide lots of opportunities for economic alliances with China, and you have to be thrilled about that, especially in the U.S. I mean, the size of the market alone.
I know, it just seems to catch up with us and advance.
So you study China just because of its market?
Well, you'd be crazy not to study the market. I mean, just think
Isn't
about
there
it.
anything else rather than the market?
You really don't want to interrupt him. I really want to hear what he has to say.
But I think this is a collaborative space, right? We're going to share ideas.
Yes, it is, but I don't think Reg was done talking about his experience.
Well, I think we should listen to what Emily has to say. She has an authentic perspective, and I think we should take advantage of it.
Right, we really have to move on here. So I would like to move on to the next topic, which does touch upon what you had just mentioned, Reg, which is business development and market conditions in China. So, Jessica, based on what you have learned in Chinese history, do you have anything to say about this topic?
Well, I took that class 2 years ago, so I think it focused mostly on U.S. investment impacting the economy in China rather than the investment itself. But for me, I'm really interested in more how global economics influences Chinese indigenous culture, but I'm sorry, I'm not really good at public speaking.
Well, when I was in Hong Kong, I kept a blog, and I have several posts that are actually about this topic.
Come here and show me.
Okay, sure. It's mychina.wordpress.com. Yeah.
Oh, I really like this
Yeah,
picture.
isn't that
Can you
cool?
tell me more about that?
Oh, the two of you can't see my stuff. Come on over and squeeze in here.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
this.
that was really cool. I didn't know that it was
my
going to be like
gosh,
that.
Just look at that.
The
Can we
factories.
share this
yeah.
experience later? I mean, what are we supposed to do in this meeting? I thought this is the first meeting. We're going to introduce ourselves and get a better idea of everybody's research interest.
That's exactly what we're doing. Getting a sense and perspective of why Reg is here.
Can you tell me the schedule?
I think she means agenda. It's agenda, Emily.
Yeah, there is no fixed agenda. just get to know people and get an idea for our next meeting. Oh, I really like this. Yeah, I think we can use this idea and let it be the topic for our next meeting. Yeah?
Great.
Great. Well, I think we have everything, so I will see you guys next week. Great?
Okay.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Emily, I'd love to keep talking about this more. Susan and I are going to go grab a bite to eat. Do you want to join us? You probably know a place to get great tea.
Actually, I don't drink tea. I mean, not all Chinese people drink tea.
Oh, okay. Well, then see you next time. Susan, I'll meet you downstairs.
Okay.
Oh, Reg, I'll see you on Thursday?
Oh, at the next officer's yeah, I'll be there.
I would like to talk to you.
Okay, sure.
Actually.
Let's do that.
How do you think about a meeting? I noticed that you didn't talk much too.
Oh, I'm fine. I just don't think my English is good enough to participate.
No, I think you are fine. I think they are not friendly. They even didn't give us a space to talk.
Well, I don't know about that, but I think you might be interrupting too much. They didn't seem too happy about it.
No, I don't think so. I mean, if you don't push back, you're never going to thrive in this group. So, do you want to raise this issue with me together next time in a meeting?
I don't want to embarrass myself in front of everybody. Well, I gotta go. I'm gonna go meet Reg. I'll see you next time.
I don't think I'll be here next time.
Oh.
So what do you see going on here? What's happening? Yeah. Louder, please. Louder, please. Okay, so exclusion of the folks down at this, of Emily and Susan? Okay, yes. A lot of privilege going on? White privilege happening? Okay. What else? Yes.
Hello. I just saw kind of like when they talk about like the Chinese culture, like they're kind of asking for like confirmation from, I would say the left side of the table. So yeah, that's what I kind of saw.
Confirmation from down here?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Back there. Okay, all right, so portrayal of expertise and, right, and domination. Yes, right here.
What I seen was some internalized oppression. It was like not wanting to go up against the white privilege, but the internalization
Okay.
that Teresa, was it Teresa?
Oh,
Susan.
the Susan character?
Yeah.
Okay, and so internalized oppression, yeah.
I saw disrespect of one's culture and also disrespect of just the human nature of a person.
Just disrespect across the board, right? Over here, yes?
I saw that certain people were unaware of what they were saying or how they were affecting people.
Okay, so just obliviousness, yes.
Even taking ethnicity out of the picture, it is the idea that the person that is leading the group was not making the space open for everyone. So I don't know if that's necessarily classism, but definitely some misuse of that power.
Interesting observation. So just the general feeling of the group was closed down. Thank you. Back there.
thought it was interesting how there was disrespect of Chinese culture, but also there was this idea that Emily and Susan were authentic in some fashion, and so the respect came to them when it's like, oh, well, you're authentically Chinese, so now we need to hear your voice. And it was also partly sexualized, like the comment about, you know, how Chinese girls are, what was it, cute instead of sexy, or how Red seemed to be hitting on the two of them. So it was this interesting thing about like authenticity and sexualization at the same time, and then disrespect when it came to experience.
Yeah, so a lot going on, yeah, over there. Yes.
The stereotyping of Reg, you know, Emily must know a great place to go for tea because she's Chinese, and that whole entire stereotypical of what that means for her.
Right, so a lot of stereotyping going on. Yes, way back there.
What I noticed kind of at the last was when they decide to go with the guy's idea for the theme, I could also, and the woman who was leading, the red hair.
Anna,
she was like, oh, we're gonna go with the guy's idea. So I was like, maybe it could be gender roles, saying, hey, the guy's idea is probably the best idea that we should go with as a group, just because of guys tend to have better ideas than maybe women, or they're more affirmative, or it's talking about things that actually matter as opposed to everybody else's opinions. So I also thought that was just kind of interesting that they went with his idea and what he had to say and didn't even think about anybody else's. So
right, so gender playing a big role.
Yeah.
Here. Yeah. Right there.
I thought it was really interesting how as soon as they heard she had an accent, they had to pronunciate stuff like agenda. Like, why should that matter? But
yeah, some patronization going on. There are a couple right in here.
I would say that body language was significant, particularly with the Anna character. She would sort of draw back and rely on gesture when she was addressing the whole group, and when she was specifically focusing on Emily, there was a lot more assertiveness, and she would sort of, get right in front there.
So just stuff coming off even in the body if it wasn't coming through verbally. Right here.
Say that body language was significant, particularly with the Anna character. She would sort of draw back and rely on gesture when she was addressing the whole group, and when she was specifically focusing on Emily, there was a lot more assertiveness, and she would sort of, get right in front there.
So just stuff coming off even in the body if it wasn't coming through verbally. Right here.
I also think there was a lack of humanization, even from the beginning. Anna walked right by, and usually when you're in that role, you acknowledge, at least with eyesight, everyone in the room.
Okay. So, right there. Thank you. Oh, I'm trying to get you.
Oh, goodness.
Yes.
I thought the students' silence kind of reinforced the ideas of, what they were saying was right, because she was silent, from her own insecurities, and she didn't say much, so kind of made it seem like what they were saying was okay, even though she might not have felt that way.
Okay, right. So that may go back to, some of the other comments earlier. Right, thank you.
There was such a lack of communication, I think, even though they were all speaking, and it was mostly, I think, to me, all the communication happened in body language, not really verbally. So even when she asked for information, she didn't really listen to what was said, specifically of the two on the left. And then at the end, she decides the next topic, but didn't explain what that was even to the next group. So nobody really knew what was going on. There was no real communication happening at all.
Not a lot of listening, not a lot of communication. Yeah.
One thing I noticed is that the dual issue of othering, but at the same time trying to unpack on your own terms culture and identity beyond, the broad focus of the club. So they tried to, the economy, and then at the end with references to tea. So it sort of withdrew identity and cultural identity away from the person and appropriated it to the person using it.
Yeah, so like extracting bits and pieces. Did you want to say something?
I just think of the oppressed oppressing the oppressed. So like eventually her friend was even not wanting to steer the pot, and I think I see that a lot, and that happens often. So.
Okay.
Something that I noticed was that the two ladies on the end were kind of, they didn't have enough courage to really stick up and say anything, and it kind of plays into the role of like society tells you like you're not really supposed to say anything and just let other people kind of take the role. So it kind of it was kind of dehumanizing to them.
Okay. So a lot of dehumanization going on. Yeah.
The international student's name?
Emily and Susan.
Emily, I think she wanted to speak up, but I think she needed support. I don't think she wanted to speak up by herself, because I think she was leaning towards asking, you know, she was ready to speak up, but she didn't have the support. She was on her own.
I think that there is a lot of blind ignorance happening, whether it be from both sides, whether they would acknowledge her as authentic. I think they took it overboard with assumptions and basically saying, oh, you know where T is, or things like that. But I think there was also a lack of recognition for the international student from Chinese, and there wasn't any from the leader, from what I saw. There wasn't really any acknowledgement that she was from China, and then when there was, it was overboard.
Thank you. Thank you.
From the leadership part of that experience, I seen disrespect to all the students in the group, as she came in late and then said, I have to go early, so she just rushed, and then there was a lack of, just completely a lack of interest in actually the topic, rather than possibly what the gentleman's experience was, because he had spent a year in China. And it seemed like there might have been a personality connect for those two, because they were both in that leadership role per se.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Great. Thank you. Any others that folks want to? Yes. Did I see a hand over here? Okay. All right, so I'm going to hand this over to Tika, and we're going to get more motivations of the characters.
All right, so you've all raised all of these possibilities of what you're seeing happening, but I want us to kind of embody what some of these characters are experiencing in the moment. So I'm going to ask each of you for an example of one thought, and they're going to use an I statement. And so this is an example, but it doesn't mean that there can't be 20, 30, 100 other possibilities, okay? So let's just hear one thought from their perspective from each of these characters. Okay, thank you. The particular moment is when Emily is sitting over here by herself, and all four of them are looking at Reg's blog. Let's get into that pose for now, and then hear from each of you, one thought that you're having. And let's start with Susan, and then go through everyone on this table and ending with Emily.
I can't see anything.
I hope I'm impressing the president.
I have got to talk to Reg about this.
These people are overpowering the meeting.
I don't know what is happening there.
Okay, so I want to get some volunteers from the audience, and I would like for you to say one thought, and it can be totally different than any of the things that were set up here, but one thought that you might be having if you were in that position right then and there. So, and start with an I statement. Who has one, and you can pick what character you would like.
Emma, I would get up and walk out.
All right. So I want. So then,
Emily.
So then, turn that into an I statement.
So if you were Emily.
Yeah. If you were Emily, what would you be saying in your mind?
I'm about to leave.
Okay. Great. So come on up stage. Come on up stage.
I love the first facial expression that somebody realizes it.
I know.
All right. So you're gonna come up and you're gonna stand behind Emily, and Oh, no, we don't need the mics right now yet. Okay, but we will in a little while. So, and you're going to strike a gesture. Earlier we did a gesture that kind of symbolizes what you just thought. If it's like this, right? Okay.
Oh, yeah. I got your back. I got your back.
So you're going to remember your line, too, which is, I'm about to leave. I'm about to walk out. So you remember that line. All right, so another person that has a line for one of these characters up here. Don't be shy. All right.
It'd be for Reg.
Okay.
Why doesn't everybody come look at my thing?
Okay, great. Come on up.
On the stage.
Yes, right here.
It's the one in the husky sweatshirt. Go Huskies.
Okay, Susan.
Susan. I can't see, and I would get in there.
Okay, so how could you, so this is for what is happening in her mind. So you put that in an I statement.
I'm going to see the screen.
Okay, good. Come on up.
Yeah.
Another one. Yes, right here we have somebody.
Okay. There you go.
Where's the computer?
I'm going to do Anna. I'm going to listen. Or,
Okay.
no, I was thinking for Anna.
Yeah.
I want to hear from Emily.
Okay, so so I'm sensing from the audience that everyone is already ready to intervene, which I love.
Yeah,
I really love that. But I want to, before that, so I'm just going to put a little brakes on just for a minute, is that we are actually understanding what's happening in the mind. We're trying to understand what is happening in Anna's mind. And I don't know, I'm making an assumption about Anna, but I don't think she might be thinking, I want to hear from Emily. But
I just wanted to help her move along.
Yeah, I know you want to transform
quickly.
And you're jumping ahead, which is awesome. And in forum theater, what you're going to learn in a little while is that for the sake of today, we don't get to stand in for the oppressors.
Oh.
We don't get to, because we don't always in our life get to change the people that are causing the worst problems. We can't always change them, but we can change our behavior as the people witnessing an oppression happening, or if we're the ones experiencing it. So that's just kind of the rules for today. So, do you have one for any one of the other characters, or Anna, that's from their perspective, trying to get into something about what's going on in their mind? You want a moment to think about it? Any one of them.
I really just wanted to take on Anna, but
I know. So
you can take me on later.
What if it was a thought of something that you might say as this character? She's saying in her head, like, just shut up, Anna.
That's what Emily could be saying is shut the hell up.
Come on up. Yes, that's good. Yeah. Okay, so you're going to stand behind Emily. All right. Right here, I see a few.
Jessica.
Okay, you got Jessica. Okay, Jessica. You're with Jessica. All right. It's okay if there's another one for any one of the characters. We can have more than one.
For the Jessica,
Yeah.
I'd like to say, what is the purpose of this meeting? What we're doing here?
Yes, good. Well, yes, come on up. Who else has one? Okay, right here.
Also for Jessica, getting a lot here. I'm getting really uncomfortable right now.
All right, come on up. Thank you. And I saw one over here. Okay, over here. Yeah, come on, you can.
For Anna, why haven't I started a My China WordPress?
Yes. Thank you. Way to get in her head. There was one all the way back there.
I was going to go with Anna as well.
Yes.
I want Emily to leave.
Okay. Come on up. And I saw one over here.
I'm coming to you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, hold on, I do.
Okay.
I was gonna say maybe I should go sit by Emily.
Okay, nice. Yeah, come on up.
Can you repeat that? What was it?
So,
okay.
she said, I'm going to go sit by Emily.
Are you
for Jessica.
Yeah, go sit there.
All right.
Come over here. Who's
any more for Emily or
Susan?
Susan. Okay, right here. Okay.
I just want to fit in.
Okay, come on up. Okay.
For Reg, I would just pick up the laptop and move it in the center where everybody can see it.
But no, think of it's a line that Reg is thinking in his head.
I'm gonna move the computer.
Okay.
Move the computer.
And in the middle here.
All right.
For Emily, I want to be heard.
Okay, nice. Thank you.
That's a good way to end.
Do you, actors on stage, do you feel like you have enough backup?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Sure. Cool.
All right. So I want everyone on stage for a moment to I want you to remember your line. So say it just so you can remember it right now. This is our dress rehearsal. Say your line. Everyone at the same time.
I have to talk to Reg about this.
I can't see.
Okay. And now I want everyone to strike a pose that is a gesture of what is symbolic of that line. If it's like, I just want to disappear, it might look like that. If it's like, you know, oh, what didn't I think of, right? So embody it in some way, and I want to see everyone on the count of 3. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3. I want to see all of your gestures and poses, okay? And make them outlandish, because this is all the subtext. This is all what's happening in people's minds, so it can be as crazy as it wants to be, right? All right, 1, 2, 3. Pause.
I have to talk to Reg about this.
I can't see.
Nice.
I can't see.
Okay.
I have to talk to Reg about this.
We're gonna go to this moment, and so I'm gonna conduct you. So imagine me being the conductor, and when I point to each of you, you're gonna say your line with a lot of loudness because we don't have mics for everyone. So you're gonna really belt it out there, and your gesture, okay? When I point to you, so be paying attention to me, and if I go like this, that means everybody together. Like this, and if I go boom, 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 that's faster and louder, and if I bring it down here, it's more of a whisper. So I'm the conductor, and you're still doing your gesture, okay? All right, so we're gonna take it from the part where, what's the line right before Susan? When Reg says, why don't you guys come over here and see my stuff? Yeah. So it will happen on Susan. So Susan will be the only one to move, and you really will have a hard time seeing because there's all these people in your way. So come on over here. Yeah.
Oh, you want me to come over?
Yes. You're going to be the only one that moves, other than the gesture. No, all the way over in your seat. Yeah. So it's going to show how hard it is for her to even see the screen. There's all this in the way. Okay. So, and you're still seated. Yeah, or wherever in your seat, sorry. There, all over there. Yes.
Got it.
Oh, yeah, the other Susans can follow Susan. Yes.
Follow me.
Thank you.
Other Susans. You're following me. Awesome.
Okay, thank you all. Okay, so this is, sometimes in the classroom, things like this happen, and there's a lot of silence around what's happening. And we're going to kind of see how noisy the room might actually be when these situations happen. All right, so let's take it from Reg's line.
Oh, you two can't see my stuff. Don't you want to, come on over and squeeze in here.
Okay. And here we go.
Oh my God, I just want to fit in.
Louder.
I just want to fit in. I'm going to see the screen.
I can't.
Okay.
I'm going to get to the screen. I'm going to leave.
I can't see.
I'm going to get to the screen.
I'm going to sit next to Emily.
Shut the hell up!
What am I doing here? What we're doing here?
I'm feeling really uncomfortable.
I hope I'm impressing the president.
Let me move the laptop.
Come and see my stuff. Come on.
I just want Emily to leave.
I'm so gonna start my own China blog.
I just want Emily to leave.
I just want to fit in. Just move. I can't see.
Okay, so now the Annas together. All 3.
I have to talk to Reg about this. 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 I have to talk to Reg about this.
I can't see.
just hear the Emily's?
I don't know what's happening here.
And again?
I don't know what's happening here.
And now everyone together again? I have to talk to Rich about this. I have to talk to Rich about this. I have to talk to Rich about this. I have to talk to Rich. Freeze, thank you. You can all go sit down. So, does that remind anyone of a moment in their lives that they've experienced? What are some observations from the people that were in the audience? How did that make you feel? Yeah.
It seemed like if you were just to focus on like Emily being the one that's oppressed and everyone else is the kind of one against her, whether they know it or not, her voice, or all her voices, were the most quiet, and everyone else was really loud, and theirs was very calm, and like she can't see, and yeah.
Anyone else? Did you experience watching this?
I was in it, but the young lady from Seattle, I believe it is, with the black shirt on there, I never even thought about that. I just want to fit in. I didn't even think about that.
Thought. Anyone else? Yes.
There were so many feelings being expressed, so many things that also wanted to be expressed, and I thought it was really interesting to see it acted out, to see how people are feeling at that moment, but sometimes those things that are being felt don't always get out there.
Yeah, great. Anyone else? Yeah.
And watching that and hearing what might be going on inside people's heads made me feel really stressed. It was very stressful to kind of have all that dumped on top of me, and frustrated that nothing was being resolved. It was not comfortable to watch.
Oh no, so yeah, right behind you there.
I understand how, even for just one of the characters, how that could be paralyzing, having that many thoughts in your head at the same time, and it's a mixture of like, I want to fit in, but I feel like I'm not getting the attention I expected.
Yeah. All right. Oh, over here.
What with all the white noise, I wonder if anybody really heard why they were even there. I mean, the purpose didn't come through because there was so much white noise, so to speak.
Yes, good observation. So in these moments, sometimes when we try to ignore the situation or we don't say something about the situation, even though we're not saying something, the situation continues. The situation increases. The situation becomes louder and louder and more paralyzing, as someone else said. And so it's hard to even think about the topic. All right. Thank you. We are going to do this play again. And at this moment, you are going to be able to, as you started to do, come on in and intervene. Yes. Yep. So, Jen and I are going to talk a little bit about the rules for intervention. In your packets, as Joe mentioned earlier, is our awesome, on page 5, is the list of characters and who can intervene for who, but we'll also talk about it.
Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is I want to explain what's going to happen. We're going to do the scene again, and when you feel the urge to intervene, you're going to say, "Stop!" really loud. Okay, so we have to practice that. All right, are you ready? So on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, stop! Oh, woo! That is awesome. That might be the best time I've ever heard. All right, you are ready, I can tell. Okay, you're ready to intervene. So, now here are the rules of intervention. You need to intervene for someone who you currently identify with or might identify with in the future. So, like, I don't identify as an international student. So I would not intervene for Susan or Emily, but I could intervene for Jessica. Okay, does that make sense? My identities don't match, right? And that's important in this scene in terms of how people are being treated. Questions about that? Okay.
And so when you intervene, it's the first time that you see the problem happening. That's, you can take it from as early as you see the problem start happening or as late when you think it's the moment that you want to intervene. But we also, as I mentioned earlier, the rules of this game is that we don't intervene for the oppressors. And that's because we want to see what we can do in any situation, no matter what type of oppression comes at us. If we fix the oppression really early on, well, then we all just walk out and go home and have some coffee, and and then we see an oppressor, and we can't exactly change them. We have to practice what it's like. The other thing that I want to say is that I think that you all have ideas for interventions already, right? Well, I want you to take a minute or two and talk with the folks at your table, maybe just one person, about what intervention you would make and which character you might stand in for right now. So come up with some strategies, some ideas.
Yeah, is it clear?
Yeah, I'm going to clarify.
And maybe female.
I'll clarify. I'll clarify, and you're also going to introduce yourself. So I'll clarify, and then you can.
Yeah. And Susan is intervenable also by people whose English is not their first language. Doesn't have to be. Yeah.
So for Anna and me, do we need to say anything other than I'm not interviewing? That's fine.
Yes.
Here we go. So, hopefully you've started to generate some ideas. If you haven't had the opportunity to say your idea, well, you're going to get the opportunity on stage here. I want to reiterate a couple points in that the characters that you see up here, they are going to stay in character in the scene and also in the debrief. So if you're like, wait a second, what are they? They're staying in character. And your job as an intervener is when you come up here, just like when you came up for that other exercise we did, you are also staying in character. So when you come up here, you're not saying, oh, if I were Susan, this is what I would say. No, you're Susan now. If you come in for Susan, you're Susan. And you're talking to the people in the scene as if you are Susan. And you stay in character also the whole time you're up here until we call stop. And you can stay on stage until you've completed the task that you set out to do. So if you think you're done, you can look to one of us and say, that's it, I'm done. Or you can keep going in the scene, but you can stop once you've tried out what you wanted to try. Is that clear? You're staying in character. So nobody's going to come up here and start saying, oh, well, this is what I think you should do, and this, no. You're doing that as if you're one of these people. And we're going to have them introduce themselves one more time and say who can intervene for them.
So, again, my name is Teresa, and I'm playing the character of Susan, and I am intervenable by anybody who identifies as an international student or who's or English is not their first language.
So my name's Jun Chen. I'm playing Emily, and I'm intervenable by international student from China.
I'm Paul, and I'm playing a character named Reg, and I am not intervenable.
I'm Nicole. I'm playing the character of Jessica, and I am intervenable by anybody who is U.S. born.
And I'm Ariel, and I'm playing the character of Anna, and I am not intervenable.
And just because I want to make sure that everybody knows this and doesn't get stuck on site, that just because Jessica and I are white and I stood behind Jessica and said, you know, I identify with Jessica, doesn't mean you have to be white to intervene with Jessica, right? Anybody who's U.S. born, all right? So anybody who would like to be in solidarity with the international students or someone who is speaking English as their second language, okay?
And any gender as well, is that right?
That's right, and any gender. Well, I have all genders, so.
Right, exactly. All genders.
So, all right, are we ready to go for the second time? Yeah. Okay. Remember, stop.
Hey, Susan, how are you?
Oh, hi, Reg. Nice to see you. How did you do in Chinese art class last quarter?
You know what? I got a 4.0. I was really excited.
Oh, yeah, me too. I think the professor was quite impressed with our final project.
Yeah, I really loved working with you.
Yeah, me too. Have you been to this meeting before?
I haven't, but I know Anna, who's the president of the group. We met at officers training last week.
Oh, okay. This is my first time at this meeting. I had to rush over here. I didn't get a chance to eat.
Yeah, me either. And I'm hungry. You want to join me for a bite to eat after the meeting?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, Anna, how's it going?
I'm fine. I just ran into Josh. I mean, Professor Chapman, and he just told me that he's leaving to do fieldwork in China and won't be back for 2 months. So I have to run and discuss my paper with him later today, so this meeting has to be kept short. Hello, welcome. Please take a seat. Hi. Okay, so we are already 10 minutes late, so let's get started. I am glad we are all gathered here today for our first China Studies student group meeting. I would like to get to know all of you and get a better understanding of what brought you here. So let me ask, what is your experience of China? Who would like to start? Okay, so I can start. Welcome, my name is Anna. I became infatuated with Chinese culture when I was 8 years old. I finally got to study abroad there last year and lived in China for 6 months, and I lived in Shanghai. God, I loved the people there. They were hospitable and community-minded, and they even put an emphasis on girls being cute instead of sexy. I even felt a little out of place when I got back to the U.S. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Okay. I'm Susan, and I don't have much experience of China, but I hope to study abroad there soon.
Okay, great.
Hello, I'm Emily.
Oh, hello! You must be Jessica.
Great. Come on up. We're going to get you mic'd up. I know you're excited about that.
Jessica, you made quite an entrance.
What? So.
Yeah, it wasn't perfect.
Yeah. What moment are you wanting to start from?
Right when she entered the door.
Right when she enters?
And which character? Jessica.
Jessica. Okay. So let me get out of the way.
Not nervous at all. Stand on the a lot of people.
Are you ready?
Hello, I'm Emily.
Oh, hello. Welcome. You must be Jessica. Yes. Oh, you are. Yeah, I got your email saying you were going to be a little late, but that is great. You know, why don't you have a seat over here? Come on. It's okay. Oh, you are not interrupting. Don't worry. We are just introducing ourselves, you know, and so I would like.
I would love to hear.
Right. So you know what? I would really like if you would have a seat, and then we can get to that. Okay?
I guess.
Yeah.
Aren't introductions so much better when you're
You know what? But
standing
you are
up?
actually interrupting the introductions as we are talking.
well, I
so
guess-
I really need you to just sit down.
Okay.
Here, have a seat. You know what, Jessica? Why don't you introduce yourself?
Oh, but you said I was interrupting, so
No,
whoever
it's
was
okay.
introducing themselves.
You were interrupting, and now I would like it if you would just tell us about your experience of China. Okay, Jessica? Please, just do it.
Well, you know, Emily was talking.
We can get to Emily. We
Oh,
can get to Emily
I
right
feel
after.
so awkward
Stop.
already just walking.
All right, so actually,
Just
so folks
do
for
it.
the audience, you're going to hold on. and
Hold
you're
on
gonna
for just a second.
You'll be next.
Yeah, you hold that thought. Okay, but let's stop here for a moment. Let's stop here for a moment. So, Jessica, what were you trying to do in that moment?
Well, for me, as Jessica character as me, I'm going to go from my point of view. Whenever I walk into a room of meeting, because I've been definitely late for class before, God forbid, but I walked in, I usually shut the door, and I kind of like assessed and hesitate on the situation. So if someone's talking, it'd be like, I'm going to slowly shut the door to be sure that I don't interrupt. Because you can also get dock points from a professor if you interrupt the class. So.
And what do you notice that happened?
I noticed that Anna came right over to say like, hi, even though I was across the other room past Emily.
Yeah. And Anna, how was that for you?
It was frustrating. I really need this meeting to just go. I have to go meet Professor Chapman. So it was very annoying that she kept hesitating. Just say, hello, my name is Jessica.
Right.
It's really not that hard.
Right. And Emily, what was going on for you when Jessica came into the room?
I feel Anna she really wants Jessica to introduce herself, and I feel she really wants to do that because she feel what I'm going to say is like she don't care about it. So she just really happy that someone is like jumping and going to talk about their experience of China.
Yeah. And Susan, how about you? When Jessica came into the room?
I was just taking notes, and I actually don't like conflict, so whatever was happening, I kind of was blocking it out.
Mm-hmm. Reg, do you have anything to offer to what
I was just wishing they would make up their minds and move on. This is ridiculous.
Right, okay. All right. So did this accomplish what you were hoping that this would accomplish?
No, Anna was very aggressive.
Okay, all right. But it was excellent intervention, so good try, and thank you very much for coming on up here.
So there was someone that yelled stop in the audience. Who was that? So, now he's reading his program. Is there a moment that you want to intervene for? Do you already have an idea? You do! I can tell you do!
Yeah, I had it in that moment.
Okay.
I was going to take over Russ, but then, wait, was that his name? Russ?
Reg? Oh, yeah.
I was going to take over Reg, but...
It's hard, right? So could you do something as Jessica? Do you want to try? I mean, you can be you, Jess. You want to try it out? Okay, that's okay. Anyone? Is there somebody else that has an intervention
Behind
ready?
you.
Okay, I'll come back to you if you can think of it. All right, who do you want to step in for? Jessica. All right.
She just gets interviewed on that.
Let's just see if that's easy.
Oh, can they
continue? I want to come into the part where they're looking at the laptop.
Okay, so from the laptop part. And Jessica is standing behind, also looking at the laptop.
I'm sitting.
Which line?
So, from before.
A little
they
bit
go over?
before, and then like when they start.
So how about from when you start, when you say my China, that whole thing?
Yeah, it's mychina.wordpress.com.
Did you guys want to come look at it?
Oh, wow. I love this. This is great.
Yeah,
Can you tell me
that
more
was
about
fun.
that?
Yeah. Oh, you guys can't see my stuff. Come on over.
my
You guys
gosh.
should you should definitely come
I
over
love
and look
this.
at it.
Yeah, that was.
It's
that was
kind of
really
awesome.
cool.
Oh, wow.
Wait,
Yeah.
so what's the purpose?
Oh, we're just we're figuring out a topic for our next meeting, and I think Reg has just introduced a great opportunity for us.
Can we share this experience later? I mean,
I think
what
that's
are
a
we
great
supposed
idea.
to do in this meeting?
Well, I just
I totally
yeah, I know, I hear you, but I was just telling you guys what why we are looking at this, which is we are looking for a topic for our next meeting, and I think Reg has really given us an opportunity with his great blog post about marketing
It's not that
and
great.
China, and oh my gosh, there are some really, you know what, Jessica, that's great. I mean, you can actually, why don't you bring stuff next meeting and tell us what you do not think is great about this?
I will. I think everyone's opinion matters.
Yeah, so we can bring that up
Totally.
at next meeting. And you know what? I am so excited about this. And you guys, I gotta go because I gotta discuss some stuff with Professor Chapman. And I am really, really excited about getting to know all of you guys even more. But, you know, thesis paper doesn't write itself. So I'll see y'all later.
So I guess we're done. Emily, I'd love to keep talking about this with you. Susan and I are going to go grab a bite to eat. Do you want to join us? You must know a great place that serves good tea.
Tea?
Actually, I don't drink tea. I mean, not all Chinese people drink tea.
Oh, sure. Okay, well, I'll see you next time. And my water here.
We should probably go get some coffee, though. I think it'll be really good for us to get to know each other better.
Well, sure.
Being that we're all different races and ethnicities.
Coffee, tea, whatever.
Kool-Aid.
So do you want to
I love
come?
Kool-Aid.
You want to come with us?
I think we should all go. Would you like to come?
Actually, sorry, I don't feel like to come. I don't feel like to.
Maybe next time then. Huh?
That will come later, okay? Did you want to, have you tried what you wanted to try?
A little longer.
A little longer, okay, keep going.
Sure. You want to come join us for?
I think I'll stay with her, talk to her a little more about
okay.
the class, because I really like what you said about China. I want to know more. I'm interested.
So, Susan,
An actress.
you're gonna come?
Okay.
I'll meet you downstairs.
Okay, later. Okay.
So what do you guys think about the meeting?
I feel I don't have. They don't give me a space to talk. Yeah, and actually I didn't get to like. I thought they were going to like let us all of us to talk about like our research interest a little bit. Yeah, I just don't feel comfortable in this meeting. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally understand. The stereotypes could be really hurtful, and I just feel like you guys, we should come together more often, and we should talk to them about that, especially the leader, because if we have a leader who's not even showing, each other attention, especially when we've been through, Chinese experiences,
Yeah.
that's really hurtful.
Yeah, I agree with you. So, yeah, I feel that if you would like to like raise this issue with me together next time, that would be great.
That would be totally cool. I could bring some friends too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta go meet Reg.
Oh.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay. Don't have too much fun. Okay. Well, it was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
I'll see you later.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, stay up here. Stay up here. All right. So, So I want to ask the audience, what did the new Jessica do? Yeah, right there. And shout it out. I think we might. Yes. Okay. Another audience. There we go.
I feel like it was great to make that connection with Emily, but Susan was also right there, and they could have one more ally, especially if Susan wants to be a part of the group. 3 is bigger than 2.
Good point. Yeah, right here.
Him down. She reached out, but she sort of shut him down with a little comedy.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. In the back there.
She actually spoke up. She didn't hold it in. She spoke up and she validated her feelings in a way. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the way back.
She kind of opened up the opportunity to make a call to action, like to actually make a change, a difference. So she opened up the opportunity for that.
Mm-hmm. It was, I noticed that in the first version, Emily is the one, after experiencing this huge moment that is, intense. There's all these voices. It's confusing what she wants to do. And she's the one that has to try to muster the energy to gather allies or people to be with her. And in this one, Jessica was the one to take that. Yeah. What was that like for you? Did you accomplish what you set out to do?
Kind of. It was awkward because it was like so many different ideas going on and different opinions, but like I like the fact that one thing I really wanted to do is try to put my own experience in it, or like try to, so like when you brought up the tea situation, I was like, oh, well, I like Kool-Aid, because I'm not trying, a lot of people say this, but a lot of black people drink Kool-Aid, so I'm like, oh, if Asians drink tea, well, black people drink Kool-Aid, white people drink coffee. It's just like, don't try to make it all about race, because there's things about people that are common even when they differ from each other through race or whatever it may be. So I try to use that, and also just try to connect with other people who may differ from you.
And what was that like for Susan's character?
I was actually torn about whether I should stay or go, and I ended up going because I didn't want to disappoint Reg, but I did want to stay for a little bit and see what they talked about.
All right. Well, thank you very much. All right. Emily has one more thing that she wants to add.
Yeah. I just want to say my feeling. So when Jessica want me to go there and see the blog, I don't want to do that. I still don't feel like to do that, and it's kind of already a lot of contentious things are happening, and I already feel like not empowered enough to just stand up. And then like she said, I think she said something like she is interested in what I was talking about China, or what I was talking about my experience of China, but actually I didn't talk much. I didn't even give experience. I even didn't give any information about myself in this meeting, so I'm not sure what she's talking about at that time, or if she's really listening to me.
Yeah. All right. So sometimes when we step in and intervene, what works for one person or what one person is perceiving isn't always reciprocated, right? It feels differently, or it can change the situation in new dimensions. There was one more thought. I'm going to hold off on that one because that's the opportunity for other folks to come in and step in. We might discover more about these characters. What you see, like you're saying, what you see up here isn't everything about these characters. There are hidden identities, hidden markers that all of these characters have that we may not be seeing and they may not be revealing. So some of that will come out, but thanks for...
You've got a microphone.
So Emily, I'd like to talk about this more. Susan and I are going to go grab something to eat. Do you want to join us? You must know a great place for tea.
I don't know anything about, a good place to put the teas, but I think that we can, talk about a little bit more about this meeting, because whole entire meeting I was feel really uncomfortable. I don't know, you guys have some feeling to... I don't know. It wasn't
Anna was
only
pretty
me.
friendly, I thought.
Just what is the purpose of this meeting? When we talk about this China, the history and all this, the culture things we to learn over here. But I don't think we talk about nothing about the China.
Well, she was rushed because she had to go meet that professor who was leaving. So it was just to get to know each other. Now that we have our topic for the next meeting, I'll share more about that next time.
Indeed, yeah, I understand it. The time is the things like that, but if you have time for tea, I think we can, have a time to talk about a little bit more this meeting itself. What do you think?
Sure.
You think?
So do you want to come out with us then?
Yes, I'd
Okay.
love to go there. Yeah, so
Okay.
we can have some little lunch together. Yeah, I have time for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Let's do that.
All right.
And I don't know. Some people over here. This is first time I'm come over here, and I a little bit feel like I'm not really welcoming while you guys watching that blog things. I was sitting by myself.
Oh, well, you should just come over, and it's okay.
Yeah, yeah, but I wasn't feeling like I'm welcome in whole this meeting whole entire time. Like,
Oh.
It's not supposed to be like that. It's not only for me, but other people. So you were like there, over there, and very last minute, and nobody really noticed.
Well, we got invited. I wasn't sure why you didn't come with us.
Yeah, it's good idea, but I don't think that's watching the blog. We just like sitting in the small corner. It's a meeting,
Well,
We
you're right. Actually, next time we should project it up on the big screen.
Yeah, that's
'Cause then
excellent
everybody will be
idea.
able
I
to see
love
my
it.
stuff.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, that's so we can talk more, project it, and we can watch it on the same table at the same time. That's brilliant idea. I
Good.
love it.
Cool. All right. So, shall we go get some food?
All right.
Yeah?
Sounds good.
All right.
Okay, great. Okay, great. So, new Emily, how did that feel to be doing that?
Actually, it's really upset about it, but at the same time, what I see is that I, Emily, self, it's kind of, allowed to accept just isolated with people. So, you gotta go step out a little bit for the people if you want to be, and then one of them. That's another things, and express your emotion. What do you feel like? And ask, I don't know. I wasn't feeling uncomfortable with that. Maybe we can do it better a little bit next time for the meeting.
So it was uncomfortable, but
Yeah.
but you wanted to do that to make
and,
the change.
And asking some support and other people's,
Drawing them
a
in.
little bit better feeling.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So what did other people see that the new Emily did in this scene? Yes. So into someone who maybe on the face of things looks like, oh, I would never talk to that person, but to try and draw him in. Okay? Back there? Yes?
Control you, and then you just get angry, it's useless because you don't look at for a solution. You just want to get mad.
So so you saw her doing a lot of work to control her emotions, to be able to do the work of pushing back and trying to bring people in. So a lot of emotional work was being done by you up here, right? Yeah, by Emily. Yeah. Yes? Yeah, Dion.
I thought it was really hard because I think it was kind of still the situation where the person who was being most affected was the person that had to talk up for themselves and like didn't have anybody else there to like ally. Like you really had to like take a lot of emotional work on, and which can be really traumatizing, right? That can be a really rough experience to have to do that. So I would have really liked to see you have a strong ally in the room to help you do that work.
Yeah, so it's a interesting point, and I want to turn to Susan and ask Susan, what was that like for you when Emily was speaking up after that group meeting?
I felt like during the meeting she was interrupting too much, but after the meeting, when it was just the three of us, it made more sense for just to talk with the three of us. I felt more comfortable because during the meeting I didn't. And I'm glad that ultimately she is coming with us for coffee or tea, because I don't know how I feel in terms of my comfort with Reg. And I'm hoping that we can continue our conversation, the three of us.
That's why you put your bag on the next chair. You didn't want him to sit next to you, right?
Yeah. He's listening, so I don't really want to talk about
right.
it.
It's true. Reg is listening. And Reg, how was that for you when Emily was speaking up and
Yeah, I didn't really understand everything she was saying, but she agreed with my idea about rejecting, so I like that, and she's going to come with us. And she said she felt uncomfortable. I mean, Anna seems really friendly to me, so I'll have to tell Anna that that Emily didn't feel comfortable, so that Anna can be, more welcoming, I guess, next time.
Okay. So some things about that intervention. I mean, a lot of emotional work, and then some things about that intervention may go smoothly, and some other things may get taken back, and who knows what those repercussions will be. So it's hard to know. And as we've been talking about, everyone in this play is struggling, and we're all struggling, and there are no there are some interventions that we want to say, oh, that's the best intervention, right? But who's to say which one is the best intervention, right? Who's to say that that's the way to do it versus what somebody might need to do in the moment, or that we all have different ways of doing things. So I really appreciated the work that you did up here. That was fantastic emotional work. So thank you very much.
All right. So I want to see some more interventions. So how about, there's 3 hands already. Okay. I think, who had their hand up first? I didn't see. All right. Okay. And who would you like to intervene for?
I would be Jessica.
Jessica. Okay, come on up. And what moment would you like to go from? Which moment? Entry, when you enter the meeting. Okay, great. So the players can set up for Jessica's entrance. All right. All right. So Emily introduces herself, and just as she's introducing herself, you come in. Jessie, okay.
Jessie. Hello, I'm Emily.
Oh, welcome. Hi.
Sorry to interrupt, guys.
Oh, no
I'm
problem.
late. I called earlier.
Yes, I got your email saying you were going to be late. That is fine. Just have a seat. You know, we're just introducing ourselves. Oh, Jessie. Whew. I'm having some troubles here, huh?
Damn, my
So,
cell phone.
why don't you introduce yourself and tell us your experience of China?
Oh, hi. I'm Jessica. I'm sorry I'm late, but wasn't she talking just?
Why
a
don't you
minute ago?
just keep going?
No, I can't do that.
Okay, Emily, if you'd like to introduce yourself, go ahead, please.
Thank you. So my name's Emily. I live in China for 22 years. I was born in China. I lived there for 22 years, and I lived there. I have my undergraduate degree there, and I came here for my graduate degree in China studies. My experience of China, I don't know what else I should say. I mean, my whole life has been China.
Great, thank you. Yes, Reg.
So I'm Reg, as you know, and I got to spend a year in China. I was in Hong Kong. And it's an amazing city. I loved the skyscrapers and Victoria Bay. But when I was there, I talked with somebody who was telling me about the real China, the China before modernization, and it was amazing. All this history is being lost. I mean, thousands of years of architecture and culture.
Yeah.
But anyway, at least modernization does provide us with lots of economic opportunities for us in China. I mean, who can't be excited about that, especially the U.S.?
I know.
Size of the market.
It just starts to advance and catch up with the rest of us, right?
Isn't there anything? So you study China just because of its market, right?
Well, you'd be crazy not to study the market. I mean, just think about how much.
Excuse me. Hello. Hi. You guys really don't want to interrupt him because I actually really want to hear what he has to say.
Hey,
So
we all know you want to go out with him and everything, but he's obsessed with Asian women. Give it up, dude. Seriously.
Excuse me.
Can
You're
she
being
talk?
very, very rude, Jessica.
Would you let her talk? She was speaking.
We really don't have this much time to discuss this issue that you are having, but if you would like to step outside and cool off for a minute, I would be very happy if you did, Jessica.
That's not going to happen. I want to hear what she has to say.
I'm having a problem with you. So
I know,
I have
every
very
time.
little time right now to deal with this, and we just really need to get to know each other. Everyone, this is Jessica.
Hi.
And I'm Anna, and that is Reg, and that is Emily, and that is Susan. So now, let's keep continuing with you, Reg.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank
All right.
you. Thank you.
So, while I was in China, I did keep a blog while I was there, and several of the blog posts.
Oh my gosh, come
such
here
a
and
pompous
show me.
ass. Seriously.
Dude,
Let
no,
her
it's just-
speak.
I'm just
Jessica.
showing. No, it's
No.
my
Jesse,
China.
Jesse, we do not tolerate that in this meeting.
Oh.
That
What
is
do we
dis-
tolerate then? Your obnoxiousness, your obsessiveness over him? Oh my God, for real.
Excuse me.
Seriously,
this
why don't you
language.
sit back down? Maybe she has something important and valuable for us to learn. We're learning about China, not your life or your meeting with your professor. Ooh, let's hear about China. That's why we're all in a Chinese study group.
Okay.
Could we please?
Oh, we're still going. This intervention has to continue before the next one. So hold it, keep going.
Can we please hear what she has to say?
Emily,
She's
are you
from
comfortable
China.
with this? Are you comfortable with this? Because I'm not. I will tell you right now, I am not comfortable with this. So if you guys would like, we can end the meeting now, and we'll all meet next week. And why don't
Good.
we just have a prompt for maybe a new idea for next week and how we can continue?
Well, I'll send out my blog post and we can
Great,
use that.
and maybe we can use that as a launching point for our next meeting. I think that is a really good idea. And Jessica, I really would appreciate if you came next time and were not as rude as you are right now.
Well, my apologies for being rude, but I don't agree
I
with
think
your
you need to
point
take
of
your
view.
attitude elsewhere.
Emily,
I will have
really
to talk
am intrigued
to
with what you have to say. I want to learn
Professor
more
Chapman.
about China. That's why I took a Chinese study class. You're here in America. I would love to know what you have to say so that I can be more enlightened about your country, because I really feel naive. I took one class. It was very brief. It covered just a very short period of time.
Reg, would you like to step outside and
thank
maybe
you
talk
for
about
saying
this?
so. But I don't feel like to talk right now. I think I'll go.
Well, would you be willing, Emily, would you be willing to talk with me later?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe I'd
maybe
really
we can
like
talk
that
later.
personally. I think that would be
Thank you
excellent. Thank you.
for
I really
saying that.
appreciate your time.
So, I want to hear from the audience. What did this new Jessica do, and how was the scene influenced? Right here.
Just move one chair over. There's like this blank chair in a space. If you just sat one more over to talk, I think it would bring someone closer. And I think also the aggressiveness of it, it kind of, if you're in the situation like Emily is, that's a lot of like focus on you. And it's very, I guess, little too much. Yeah.
There were some other comments at this table.
I agree that the new Jessica, though the intention was good, the added aggression fueled Anna's aggression, and it made the entire meeting just about aggression and who was going to win that particular argument. So it just made the entire situation extremely uncomfortable for Emily. She just probably wanted to go hide under a rock.
There's a thought up here.
Here, I'll give you.
I agree. There's a saying that's you can't deconstruct the master sauce with the same tools, and what I mean by that is you can't hope to stop oppression by being oppressive. And I just think that that type of mentality or that type of addressing the situation is a double negative, and if we continue to do that, all we're going to be doing is turning into the monsters that we're trying to stop.
Excellent.
Yeah. There was, I wanted to hear from the new Jessica what you were trying to do.
I'm coming in as a young student. We've been in these environments before, and it seemed like, let's get my character here. Anna and Reg had always had this little boost, is what I'm pre-assuming in the group that we've met before. She was brand new to the group. And we had an open communication. We probably had a little bit of resistance before. And what I wanted to do was just present that obnoxious person, that how they try to intervene, but it's ineffective. And it was just, from my point of view as the character, was to try to welcome her, but usually we end up stepping on our own feet.
So I'd like to hear from Emily first of how the new Jessica impacted your actions in the scene.
So at first, when Jessica tried to bring attention to me, bring the group's attention to me, I think that's that really a little bit motivated me to do something. But then it's he said, I think he addresses something about the relationship between Anna and Reg, and then it's I don't know what's going on. It's an argument there, and I have the feeling that it's because of me that I caused the argument. I shouldn't have said anything when Reg is talking, and I caused that, and just feel I did something wrong, and it's actually I don't know what was happening there, and I don't feel comfortable to stay here.
Do you think you'll come to the meeting next time?
If there's no conversation happening during this period, I think I'm probably not going.
And Susan, looks like you might have something to say.
I did feel that at the beginning when the new Jessica came in, I appreciated that they wanted Emily to go first before them, because I actually felt uncomfortable with that, and that's why I said in the original scene Emily, why don't we talk? What were you saying before you were interrupted? But at the end, like I said, I'm very uncomfortable with conflict, and I just wanted to leave. And in addition to that, I actually did start feeling exoticized, because when Jessica was talking about, or singled out, talking about, like, let's hear from Emily, I kind of felt like they were talking to me too, and like looking over at our end, like we were like the Asia end, and I felt singled out.
Is there, Reg or Anna, do you want to talk about your experience?
Well, I think I handled it okay. We did come up with an idea for our next meeting. We're going to all email something, right? And talk about mainly using Reg's blog as a launching point. I do think that Jessica was very rude and had a terrible attitude and was not fair to Emily, and I did recognize that Emily was feeling uncomfortable. I also just really don't have the time to deal with this or the patience, because I really am stressed out and I have deadlines right now. So it's just unfair to everyone.
I felt really sorry for Anna because he was sort of attacking her. They didn't know what the whole thing was about, so, but it'll be all right.
Thanks, Reg. Yeah, and like that whole thing about Reg and I have a boyfriend, hello. So,
right.
Sorry, Reg.
So I also wanted to just point out that while we enter for different characters, and when we come up here, what our identity is affects the scene. And I do think that this Jessica being male impacted the scene in a different sort of a way. And we can just think about that. What might work for one identity might not work for another. Or, the subtleties of each person will vary by both who you are as a person, but also what your, kind of bodysuit or what identities you bring in with you. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good fight.
I think sometimes when we're trying to stick up for someone, we accidentally do something to oppress them more. So when he was trying to kind of boost Emily up, but then asking her to be the spokesperson for her entire country is really singling out and oppressing her more, I think. So we need to be careful how we try to boost our friends up, but also put them out at the same time.
Looks like there's a couple more comments. Okay, this conversation is...
Or intervention.
There's also the assignment of romantic motive to the situation, whether or not it's applicable in that particular case. We've got other women in the room, and when it gets boiled down to that, where all relations between males and females are essentially romantically motived, it narrows how we understand each other.
Was there another comment? Right over there. I think that there was some other folks who wanted to do interventions. Oh wait, there was one last comment here, sorry. But you can come up and start getting the microphone on. Yes.
I hope I don't yell too loud into this. So a lot of the interventions seem to be white knighting. trying to rush in to save people, and that's running up against the reality that there's also this tendency towards creating a monster in a situation like this, and that sort of breaks down the power dynamic unnecessarily. And so I haven't seen in any of the interventions trying to engage with sort of Anna, because she is giving off a lot of clues and hints and a lot of stuff that she's saying that might indicate that what she's doing is tempered incredibly by her own current experiences. And, you know, if she is deliberately or indirectly being oppressive to other people, it might be good to sort of interrogate where that might be coming from in a way to sort of, in a group setting, diffuse the situation and figure out ways to pull it back towards a group dynamic rather than letting someone's stresses and current situation impact it too negatively.
Sounds to me like you have an intervention, so perhaps if we have time, there will be one there. All right, we're going to go on because I think someone is ready for this next intervention. Are you Jessica?
Okay, yeah, who are you coming in for?
Susan.
Okay, coming in for Susan. And where, and what, at what part of the scene did you want to, where did you want the scene to be at?
Where everybody's like continuing to go over there to the computer.
Over by the computer? Okay. All right. Reg, you want to start with that line?
So it's mychina.wordpress.com.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
You guys
Oh,
wanna
I
come
love
over here so you
this
can see my
picture.
stuff?
Yeah, why
You
don't you
wanna
guys
go?
come over? Oh, wow. I love this. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, it was not what I was expecting, actually. I didn't realize that the factory difference.
Great, I really think.
Like that.
Wow.
So.
Come on, you can get great view right here.
Love this.
You can stand on the chair and above of everybody.
Yeah, come on.
Come on, come on. Right here. There's a great view over here.
I think, you know what? I think we can use this for our next meeting. This idea for our next meeting. What do you guys think?
I think, are we going to try to get to everybody's research interest?
Sure.
I mean, when people talk about China, they usually talk about investment and market, but some people might be interested in other things. And
Okay.
I agree with
All
that.
right,
I
you
would
know
be
what?
interested in
I
other
think
things.
that would be a really good thing for you, Emily, to bring. Could you bring some of your knowledge with you? And Reg, you bring some of your knowledge with you. And Jessica, I know you have something.
Well, how about
and
should we do business next time, and then next time you can decide what you're going to
Yeah.
do the time after?
Yeah.
I really like her idea.
Yeah, I think we got an idea. Thanks.
Okay. Good.
Good. You guys, I think we have an idea. Emily, you bring something, okay?
I'll
And you
help
can
you.
add it on to business and
I would really like to add it on to business.
okay, your personal experience with China and business. Great. Yeah.
When you were Shenzhen, you said you were from, so that's the special.
Isn't that where your blog is?
Huh? Well, I was in Hong
Shenzhen?
Kong. No, but
Oh,
that,
right,
but,
that's right.
But Shenzhen is a special economic trade zone, so
Oh,
it's
great,
got some
Reg.
interesting business.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I feel that the investment, Western investment really impact like city.
Oh yeah, we
Not-
brought lots of
not
jobs
just
and.
I know. This is really, really exciting. This is so exciting. And I'm so excited to do this next week. And I think it's going to be a good year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Great year.
Yeah, it's going to be a
Okay.
really good year. So I will see you guys next week.
Okay.
And Emily, thank you for your prompts. And Reg, thank you so much for your
Sure.
blog. Rock on. And I'll see you on Thursday for
Yeah,
the
the next
officers
officers
training.
training.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I'll see you guys next week.
I think with your blog and like her experience with China, that can really be mixed.
Yeah.
And be put into her ideas.
Yeah, I'm really interested to hear what it was like growing up in the special economic zone.
Cause like I really, cause like it seemed like she kind of really shut you down, but I really am interested. Do you want to sit and talk, or you invited me to come?
Yeah, we were gonna go out
wanna-
to get
You wanna
something
come?
to eat.
You can come too.
Do you want to come? Do you know a place that serves
We
good
can all go
tea?
talk about China, cause I love China. I love China. And do you want to come? It'll be great.
So where should we go? You're the expert.
Well, you know, I kind of like this place. Have you ever heard of a Old Country Buffet? I can play. I can pay.
Okay.
Oh,
You wanna
okay.
go? We'll go talk. You wanna go? Come on.
Yeah.
Grab your stuff. Let's
All
go. Have a great fun. Let's.
All right, great. Thank you. Okay, great. All right, so Susan, can you tell us what you were trying to do in the scene?
Well, before I saw that Reg invited us to come over, look at the computer, and Susan was going, but Emily kind of felt shy, so I just wanted to come, like, make her feel comfortable, make her come over and, like, start interacting with her, putting her ideas into the conversation so she can feel more comfortable with the environment.
Okay. All right. And Emily, I noticed that you got up and went and looked at the computer, and I'm wondering what motivated that this time.
I think it's so actually I didn't want to come at the first place because I already know what is happening after all the things happened, and I really feel the shame at that time, and I don't want to stand up. But I mean, Susan is really welcoming, and even though I feel not comfortable to join another reg at that time, I want to respond to Susan, and especially he pulled a chair, so it's kind of there's a space for me to stand there. That's why I came there, and also I feel a little bit empowered. So then I got to say what I want to say about the research topics and why I think it's a little bit problematic for me for me to hear Reg talk about investment and market only.
Mm-hmm. So a little bit more space to say what you wanted to say.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks. What in the audience? Yes.
That Emily connected with Jessica and was talking to Jessica while Reg was talking to Ira. So I was like, Susan. So I was like, oh, wow. Well, she's also connecting with other peers in the group. So it made her feel more welcome. I also noticed that she started to raise her voice louder in order to be heard. So in my eyes, that showed that she was seen as having power because she started to raise her voice when normally she's just to herself, quiet. So I was like, okay, well, now she's starting to feel a part of the group. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, more connections were being made. Okay. In here?
It was nice to see Emily smile. She did crack a smile in there. And I know this is a theater group, but both of us are sitting here watching her like, I wonder, is this personal or are we, she's looking seriously hurt.
Yeah.
And she smiled. She cracked a smile.
And so it's the first time you saw her smile. So
I'm trying to stay in character. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw with the interaction with this new Susan opened up lines of communication for Emily as well as for the other characters because their dialogue was completely different. There was more empathy, a little more understanding, and a little more curiosity and actually wonder about the other's ideas and the other's thoughts.
Okay.
Now everybody's on board with my idea, so good.
It's not your turn, Reg. Okay, yes?
Well, I think it's just, in some ways, it's sort of the majority, because before it was sort of three, it was two on one side, two kind of on one side, and one stuck in the middle. And the new Susan got the third one, so it was 3 to 2.
Do you think it mattered that the new Susan was male identified? Or had a masculine presence? So I see a shaking of a head, and then this table says it made a difference. So talk to me back there. Okay, so just a lot more energy. Okay.
Reg seemed to respond
Okay. Maybe Reg wasn't, I don't know if Reg is bisexual, we don't know that, but maybe Reg wasn't as attracted to this new Susan as he was to the old Susan, right?
Susan originally wanted to be really a part of, the group, and this time she was more proactive of being part of the group instead of like sitting there wishing she was.
Okay. Up here, yeah.
So I think the new Susan's just physical presence makes a big difference. He's much bigger than the original Susan and much bigger than Emily.
Okay, so some of the physicality, all right? Did you want to make a comment? Yeah. No, you, yeah.
The confidence level
Uh-huh.
that the new Susan brought to the group.
Right.
The other Susan is very timid and withdrawn, and the new Susan has confidence about her, him, they.
Yeah.
And that confidence, I don't care what your skin is, that confidence when it's brought into an environment like that is going to completely change the dynamics.
Okay.
I guess I'm curious about Emily feeling empowered because he was a he.
Do you want to ask Emily?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
did you feel more empowered because it was you're really standing next to a male, or?
I kind of have this mixed feeling. I mean, I feel he's welcoming, but I also kind of feeling that I have to join them.
So it's kind of like the heterosexual hegemonic type of, he has some sort of power that he can protect you or support you?
I think it's like he's drawing a lot of attention to me. Like, I mean, he's bringing the group's attention to me a lot, and it's like, and he asked me again. I think he's welcoming, but I also feel that I have to.
A feeling of I have to. Both of those things were happening at the same time?
Yes,
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. Other? Oh, here, yes.
So I would still just echo that. It seems like the power is still all over on the right side of the table, and nothing has really changed, and we're just kind of forcing it based on sort of an impromptu, hey, look at my laptop, and everyone should stand up and come over here, and then have that be a very supported idea, because that's where all the power was in the first place.
And I kind of like, I don't want to stand up. It's not just about like I'm not empowered to do that. It's a stance of resistance. It's like I don't want to get involved. I have too much of that, and I want to show that I don't want to get involved. It's like a resistance to me too. So, and people ask me to join, so I have that mixed feeling why I should do that.
Okay. Yes, right here. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think it is interesting for us to think about how do things change, because things did change. This was very different, right? And Emily even talked about feeling empowered in a different way, even though she also said, I didn't want to go over there, but I did. She also said she felt more empowered. So it's a mix of things, right? Yes, in the middle.
I don't know because I haven't experienced it. I'm sorry about that, but I think I can just say about my feelings in the things that have just happened. I mean, I can't assume that how I will feel if they do that. I need to experience that in order to tell you my feeling. Yeah.
That's fair. Thank you so much for your intervention. I really appreciate it.
All right, so I know that there was someone back here that had an intervention for Jessica, so come on down and we'll have a microphone for you. And what I'm hoping is that we find an intervention in which what I'm noticing about the scene is that we hear a little bit about what some folks are interested in, but we don't hear what other folks are interested in, right? We don't know what brought them to the meeting exactly. So hopefully this next intervention will have some ideas and we'll hear from them. Sorry, I'm putting some onus on you. All right, where would you like to start?
When Emily is introducing herself.
When Emily is introducing herself and Jessica enters. Okay, great.
Hello, I'm Emily.
Oh, welcome.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Oh, no, that's fine. Come on in.
I heard her talking. No, it's fine.
It's okay. Come on in. You guys, this is Jessica. She did email me about an email saying you were going to be a little late today.
Yes.
And that is okay. We are just introducing ourselves. I have a seat for you right here. It's all ready.
Oh,
Take a seat.
Thank you.
And why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience of China?
Oh, well, I only took a history class, so I honestly don't know very much. But I heard Emily was talking, and I don't want to interrupt her.
Well, that's great. You're in the right spot. Okay, Emily.
Yeah. Okay. So, thank you. My name's Emily, and I was born in a city called Shenzhen in China. I lived there for 22 years. I have my undergraduate degree there, and I came here to pursue my graduate degree in China studies. My experience of China, I don't know what to say. I mean, my whole life has been in China.
Oh, great. Thank you. Yes, Reg.
So I'm Reg, and I spent a year in China. I was in Hong Kong, and it was an amazing city. I love the skyscrapers and Victoria Bay. But I met somebody there who told me about the real China, the China before modernization.
Real? What do you mean by real China?
Well, when you think of China, so, the old stuff, the Great Wall and the dynasties.
The history.
And everything, and that stuff, it's being lost. I mean, thousands of years of that stuff.
I would have to disagree. Like, when we think of America, we don't think of, the past. We think of the present. So I don't really think that it's being lost.
Jessica, will you please just let Reg, you're interrupting, and I'd actually really like to hear what he has to say. So if you could just sit back, relax, and then we can get to discussion, okay?
But you're saying that I'm interrupting?
Yes,
but
you are.
You interrupted Emily. So I don't think that's really, you're not being really fair to her.
Excuse me. You're being really rude, and it's very disrespectful, and I would really like it.
I don't think that I'm being rude. I think you're being
a
little bit aggressive.
Good question. I mean,
what, Emily?
I mean, Jessica asked a good question. That's what I'm wondering too.
Oh, you guys want? Okay. Ask Reg. Go.
So
ask him.
But why would we ask
him.
Reg? But she was trying to talk about, that's.
I know,
but
we're just trying to get through the meeting, and then we'll get to the subject matter, which I think Reg was touching upon, which was business, right? Weren't you getting to business?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't.
Which
but
is now China.
A
lot about China is
China
business
is really
and
just
marketing.
business. I think there's a lot more cultural aspects behind that.
Yes, there are.
And I feel like you're ignoring the cultural aspects behind Emily's.
Excuse me, we never ignored it. I think you interrupted before it even started. So
I feel like you're being really aggressive.
Okay.
Yes,
Reg.
I noticed the time. I know you said you had to go meet.
Oh my gosh!
How about
Thank
this?
you.
I think the four of us should stay, and then we can email you. I have your email. I'll email you what we talked about.
Definitely. And Jessica, please don't bring your attitude in the next class. It's really disruptive. Okay?
Attitude.
And
okay.
I might have to talk to Professor Chapman about this.
Susan,
and you
how
had
are you feeling
him,
right now? I see your facial expressions, your body language. I don't know
like
there's. How are you feeling?
I don't know what this meeting is about anymore.
Hey, Emily, would you
that's
like to
the
step
question I
outside
have.
with me for just 1 second?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, so what? Can someone tell me the purpose of the meeting today? I wasn't really sure.
Oh, well, we were just introducing ourselves and then
Okay.
getting ideas for our next meetings. We'll do different
Okay.
topics, like, different weeks.
Okay.
Next
well,
time
I
would
feel like
like
if
you to just
the
maybe
meeting
speak up a little
was
bit more.
to introduce, you kind of ignored Emily's introduction, I guess.
No, I definitely want to hear what Emily has to say.
So would I. But Susan, do you have anything to say? Any? No.
No.
I just.
I don't. I'm uncomfortable.
Kind of.
I like you guys. She's kind of scary.
Yeah, I feel like she's really aggressive, and I felt like
I want to be here, and I want to talk and stuff, but I don't know what this movie.
Well,
this
she
meeting is
wasn't
about.
quite like that at the officers training last week. I think she's just nervous because Chapman is leaving, and so she needs to go.
I felt like if that was the case, then maybe we should have, rescheduled the meeting for another day instead of her coming in really. She came in really aggressive.
Well, so why don't we talk about what we do want to talk about for next time?
Okay.
So you guys on board with the business stuff?
No.
I like. I mean, study. I like study abroad. I came here for more.
Oh, yeah, I can talk about study abroad too.
But I'm also interested in.
But I feel like Emily, I really honestly, I respect your experiences in China, but I feel like Emily has more of a first-hand experience because, as she was saying, she lived there for 22 years, and I feel
definitely authentic perspective. Yeah, we definitely want to take advantage of that.
Yeah, and so I think Emily can maybe provide more of a deeper perspective on the culture, not just the business perspective.
So what kind of thing do you want to talk about, Emily?
Actually, I appreciate that you provide the space for me to talk. I feel that it's I'm just coming from my own my personal perspective. I can't represent all the people in China, or I can't talk about culture in a way that a culture.
Well, but you know a lot more about it than we do.
I agree, but
yeah,
we shouldn't put all of it on her because then it makes her feel. Are you comfortable talking to us about it?
Yeah, sure. I can
bring your friends.
I can provide. I'm comfortable just talk from my own perspective, and it's just one perspective, and I just feel that you can't expect to. I can try to know an authentic perspective from me. I don't have that.
I agree. I feel like everyone's perspective is valuable, and even Susan, I know that you talked about studying abroad, and that's something I'm interested in too.
Oh, and I can tell you all about it. It's really
all right,
cool.
I'm gonna stop you here just because I think you've done a lot of things and you're still on the hotspot. So let's give her a round. So from the audience, what did you notice about this scene? And I want to hear from some people. I don't know all of the students here and all of the faculty here, but I have noticed that there's some people that are speaking a couple times, and I want to hear from some of the folks that I haven't heard from yet. And hopefully we'll call upon you also in the afternoon. Yes, I see a hand there.
I told Emily to speak up next time. Because I was really angry at Jessica, so I tried to make it okay with Emily so she would come back.
Other audience responses that folks we haven't heard from yet.
the meeting and get it going, and I love the fact that she said, hey, you know what, we have your email. We're just going to talk because we still want to be here, and I know you have to go. We'll just keep you in the loop because the conversation we have here, we want to keep it going. And so in a way, it relieved Anna from her duty that she has to be there. She can go and take care of like meeting her professor, and it takes away that anxiety, anger, like rush, I have to go. And she was aggressive, and so I think she was very seeing just one, she had one goal and was trying to get there as soon as possible. And there's certain things that she was hearing and things that were going way above her head. And I think just by her, hey, my end goal is here, I can leave, great, you guys can talk, you'll email me, perfect, I'm leaving. So I think that was really, really good that you kind of sent her on her way, and then the conversations were able to, and I think that's what shifted the entire thing around with the fact that she wasn't there, so.
There's another comment here.
I feel like in this interaction and other interactions, Susan kind of gets trapped or left out. And I was kind of curious to see how Susan would react being her timid self. Because in the last Susan, super outgoing, super, interactive, but, someone who's timid wouldn't necessarily, not that they wouldn't say anything, but they wouldn't necessarily be as outgoing.
That's a really good comment, in that sometimes some of the interventions feel realistic and some feel like they're kind of out of character completely. All right, so we have time for, I think, one more comment here.
Hello. I actually saw, what's her name on the right again? Sorry. Susan.
Anna, Jessica.
Anna, yeah. When Anna left the room, I kind of saw I would say kind of like a leadership change, because of course Anna, she was kind of like looking for, correcting her paper and this and that, and I just saw that Jessica kind of stepped forward and kind of took the more positive, more leadership within the group. So.
Thanks. So we are going to stop here, and we are not going to hear the final response from these folks, but what we are hoping is that this has started your brain thinking, and what's amazing about interactive theater is that we hope that this play continues to play in your mind tonight, during lunch. It will continue, and you'll be like, 2 in the morning, oh, I have a perfect intervention that you can practice next time. So I hope that you will, during lunch, continue to think about what other interventions could you have done? What didn't you see happening? What still needs to happen in this scene? And we will have another play to present to you in the afternoon. But I want to thank all of you and these actors for their great work.